I want to start today's video by painting a picture that I think a lot of you will recognize. You've dropped your child off at daycare. You've said goodbye. And as you walk back to your car, you can still hear them crying. And you sit in the car for a moment, wondering if you've done the right thing, wondering if they're okay, wondering if this is ever going to get easier. And then you have to drive to work carrying that parental guilt for the rest of the morning. If that's you, today's video is just for you, because I want to give you the honest, professional picture of what's actually happening when your child cries at drop-off, why it happens, what it means, what helps, and most importantly, what it doesn't mean. Because the story most parents tell themselves in that car park is almost always more frightening than what's actually true. Stay to the end, because I'll have a free printable guide of what helps in that situation. Let's get into it. Separation anxiety is not a problem. Let me say that again, because I want it to land properly. Separation anxiety is not a problem. It is a completely normal developmental stage that is actually evidence of healthy attachment between you and your child. Think about it from your child's perspective. They have formed a deep, secure attachment to you. You are their safe person. You are where they feel most regulated, most loved, and most themselves. And then you leave. The distress they feel at that separation isn't dysfunction. It's love. It's attachment working exactly as it should. A child who never showed any distress at being separated from their primary caregiver would actually be more concerning to me as an early childhood professional than one who cries at drop-off. Separation anxiety usually peaks about between 8 and 18 months, eases slightly, and then can resurface at about 2 to 3 years as children become more aware of the world and more aware of what separation means. It can also return during times of change or stress at any age. Understanding it as developmentally normal, it doesn't make it easier though to walk away from a crying child, but it does change the story that you tell yourself about what's happening. Here's the thing that I want to tell you today though. The thing that 15 years of working inside childcare centres has shown me over and over again. In the vast majority of cases, your child does stop crying within minutes of you leaving, sometimes even in seconds. I have watched this hundreds of times from the other side of that goodbye. A child who is absolutely distraught at drop-off, clinging, sobbing, genuinely distressed. And then within 2 or 3 minutes of the parent leaving, they are engaged with an activity, connecting with an educator, and just getting on with their day. This happens because your presence is actually maintaining the stress. Your child is communicating to you through crying, "Don't go, I need you." The moment you leave, that communication stops being necessary and their nervous system regulates surprisingly quickly, especially in a quality centre with warm, responsive educators. This is not because they don't love you or don't miss you. It's because children are remarkably good at adapting to their environment when that environment is safe and nurturing. Most quality childcare centres will text you or call you within 15 to 20 minutes if your child is still genuinely distressed. If you're not getting that call, they're okay. Me personally, what I used to do, because I get it, I have my own little daughter and she makes me feel like the worst parent in the world and like I'm abandoning her the way she cries sometimes. So I get it. So with brand new parents who have been at a centre, I asked them to wait in their car, and normally after 2 minutes I come out and I just gave a little aura. Do you know what I mean? And then when I did that, it was, "I'll give you a call as soon as they settle down." To be honest though, if it went for maybe 45 minutes, I'd say, "Look, it isn't working today, maybe come and pick them back up." But 9 times out of 10, it was always which settled that parent and they went about their day. I want to talk though about some of the things that make separation anxiety at drop-off worse, because some of them are things parents are doing with completely good intentions that are actually prolonging the distress. The most common one first, the prolonged goodbye, the parent who lingers, who keeps coming back for one more hug, who stands at the door watching, who says goodbye 7 different times. I understand though completely why it happens. It comes from love and the genuine difficulty of walking away from a distressed child. But what it actually does is signal to the child is that there is something to be worried about. If you keep coming back, it tells them that the separation isn't really happening, which makes each goodbye harder, not easier. A warm, confident, brief goodbye is significantly kinder to your child than a prolonged, agonized one, even when it doesn't feel that way. Children are also extraordinarily attuned to their parents' emotional state. If you are anxious about drop-off, if you're dreading it, if feeling guilty about it, worried about whether it's the right thing, your child feels that, and it amplifies their own anxiety. This is not, though, about performing false cheerfulness. Children can see through that too. It's about genuinely working on your own relationship with the drop-off so that your nervous system is regulated as possible when you arrive. Your calm is contagious. So is your anxiety. Both travel directly to your child. I also want to mention inconsistency. Drop-off is significantly harder when it's inconsistent. Different days, different drop-off people, different routines, different responses to the distress. Children regulate better when they can predict what is going to happen. The more consistent your drop-off routine, same time, same person where possible, same sequence, same goodbye, the faster the pattern becomes something your child can anticipate and then manage. Okay, so I'm going to give you a rundown now of what actually helps. A bit of more of a practical guide. The first one, create a goodbye ritual. Not a long one, a short, warm, consistent one. The same sequence every single morning. Something like a hug, a kiss, a special phrase that belongs just to you and your child, and then you leave. 3 hugs, a butterfly kiss, and see you this afternoon, done consistently every morning, becomes a predictable signal that goodbye is happening and it's okay. The ritual is the container that holds the goodbye. Next, we've got the confident goodbye. Say goodbye with warmth and confidence, even when you don't feel it. I love you. I'll see you this afternoon. Have a great day. Then leave. Don't say, are you going to be okay? This signals that being okay is uncertain. Don't say, I'll miss you so much. This increases the weight of the separation. Don't ask for permission to leave. Say goodbye and go. It will feel brutal the first few times. It does get easier though when your child learns that goodbye always leads to pickup and pickup always comes. Number 3, the transition object. A small item from home that your child carries with them throughout the day. A small soft toy, a photo of the family, a special stone. My little girl has a small rainbow unicorn that she carries with her that makes her feel more at ease. Something tangible that connects them to you when you're not there. For younger children especially, this can be so powerful. The object is a physical reminder that home exists and that you are coming back. And number 4, work with the educators in the room. Tell the educators what your child loves, what settles them, what their morning was like before they arrive. A good educator will have a strategy ready the moment your child comes through that door. A specific activity, a specific connection, a song they may enjoy together, something that bridges the gap between you and the room. The handover from parent to educator is one of the most important moments in the childcare day. A warm, prepared educator who already knows your child makes that handover significantly smoother. And number 5, the pickup script. What you do at pickup matters as much as what happens at drop-off. Arrive with warmth and genuine interest in their day. Tell me one thing you did today, not did you cry? Were you okay? Those questions actually reinforce the idea that there was something to be worried about. Arrive as the person who is genuinely glad to see them and genuinely curious about their day. That's the emotional anchor that makes tomorrow's drop-off slightly easier each time. So next up though, I want to be honest with you about when separation anxiety, a drop-off, moves from developmentally normal to be something worth taking seriously. Normal separation anxiety, distress at drop-off that settles within about 5 to 10 minutes. A child who is genuinely happy at pickup, a child who talks about their day and their friends, distress that is gradually improving over weeks, even if it is slowly. However, worth investigating further. Distress that is not settling after 15 to 20 minutes. A child who seems genuinely unhappy at pickup as well as drop off. A child who never talks about their day or their educators. Distress that it seems like it's getting worse, not better over several weeks. Any signs of physical symptoms even, such as a reoccurring stomach ache or a headache or on childcare mornings. If you're seeing the second pattern, talk to the centre director. Talk to your GP and revisit the quality of the specific room your child is in and the specific educators they're with. In my experience, genuine persistent distress is almost always has a reason, and that reason is worth finding. I want to come back to where I started though. The parent sitting in the car park after drop off. The guilt you feel in this moment is not evidence that you've done something wrong. It's evidence that you love your child completely. You would not feel that guilt if you didn't care that much. But I want you to hold along to this alongside the guilt. You are giving your child something genuinely valuable. The experience of separation and reunion. The knowledge that goodbye does not mean forever. The relationship with caring adults beyond their family. The friendship and community of their peers. These things matter enormously for their development, and your willingness to walk through the difficulty of drop-off to give them those things, that's good parenting, even when it doesn't feel like it. I remember one child when they first arrived and they were distressed and unsettled. We had one educator who could barely speak any English. So she just held this baby one-to-one with her, and the only English she used to say to this baby was, "Good morning, and I love you." She would hold this baby almost all day, every day for about 2 weeks, and would just repeat that to the baby over and over again. "Good morning, I love you." That helped settle that baby so much more quickly. She developed a real bond and connection with that educator because quite soon she was able to, feel safe, secure and supported in that moment. It was a beautiful moment and one I'll never forget. So look, you are not abandoning your child. You are raising them. And there is a difference. And on the other side of that drop off is a child who is learning, connecting and growing, and who will run to you at pickup with something to show you. Separation anxiety at childcare is one of the most hardest parts of the early childhood journey for many families. It's supposed to be hard though. You love your child, and leaving them in distress goes against every parenting instinct you have. But understanding what's actually happening developmentally though, knowing what the research shows about quickly children settle, and having practical strategies for making drop-offs smoother, all of that makes a real difference. The free printable drop-off guide is in the description below. The goodbye ritual framework, the strategies, and the reminder of what's actually happening after you leave. Look, if this video helped you today, please hit subscribe. There's so much more coming for Australian parents and parents around the world who are navigating this childcare journey. And if you're dreading tomorrow morning's drop-off right now, you've got this. Walk in confidently, say goodbye warmly, and know that they're going to be okay. And as always, please don't forget, let's all walk in love and peace.